Hey fun makers, on this episode of Making Fun, we're going to answer your most popular questions. We're going to talk to Russ at Rainforest Mini Golf to see how he's put together such a fantastic organization. We're going to take a look at how to use our cell phones to frame beautiful shots so you can have great social media. And we're going to take a look around and find out how the folks at Universal Studios Orlando took 5 years and $2 billion to make fun. As fun makers, we're always looking for inspiration to try to figure out how to make our attractions and our guest experience the absolute best. We do research, we listen to podcasts, we watch podcasts, we read blogs, we stay on top of industry publications and magazines, but sometimes we've got to go boots on the ground. We got to go where some people are making fun at the highest level. So as a personal sacrifice to you and other fun makers, I have dragged my body down to Epic Universe here in Orlando. Orlando's biggest, best new park. First big major theme park anywhere. Major theme park in more than a decade. So we're going to start to see some really cool things, but also understand how they've plussed the operations, using the latest technology, not only to make a great guest experience, but also to keep their operations running like a Swiss watch. So I'm going to look at 8 major principles and design principles that Epic Universe has used to make it epic so that we can learn and make our fun centers even more epic. And the first is immersive design and theming, right? You see it everywhere. You're going to see highly detailed and visually stunning environments that are going to transport us and our guests to all the different worlds. And now we're going to notice that they use storytelling and narrative in a very big way. And these elements are going to create a cohesive experience, keeping the theming running just right. And that's the key, is we're not only creating a themed environment, but hopefully we're telling a real story. One thing you're going to find in spades at Epic Universe is advanced technology. They did not become shy about using the very latest in computers, lasers, projection to make this experience unbelievable. So you want to consider using cutting-edge technology. Some of us are using AR and VR, and it's working really well in some places and trying to build momentum in others. But it is where, this advanced technology is going, where more savvy guests are demanding these types of experiences, seeing interactive screens. They're also looking for smart gamification. Here, you're going to find the second generation wands, and you're going to find power-up bands that we're going to play around with in Mario Land. When you're creating a completely immersive environment, one of the ways you do that is by tickling all the senses. You want to make it multi-sensory. We've got 5 senses. The more you can employ, the more immersive the guest experience becomes. Now, obviously, taste is one of the more difficult ones, but you want to do that with excellent food. Engaging multi-senses, of course, sight. You want lights and visual, sound to be deep, thick, immersive. Touch, things for people to interact with, play with. That's one of the reasons that escape rooms have become so popular. One way to make your center epic is personal experiences. Mass customization, we used to call it. How can we make 1,000, 1,000,000, 100,000 guests feel like just one? Well, options for that. You can experience the creation of certain personalized photo souvenirs or logos. The staff, that's the key. The staff is trained. You want to train them to enhance your guest interactions with personalized greetings and guest experiences. When you're designing your next generation family entertainment center and you want to make it epic, don't forget social integration and group activities, bringing everybody on board. So you want to design activities and games designed to be enjoyed by groups. and engaging social interaction and social play. One key that is at the core of what we do is memorable moments and therefore shareability. We are in the memory making business, right? But we want to make sure that we make it easy for people to capture those memories and share them with their family and friends. Because showing people having fun at your location, shared by a third party to their group, is like gold when it comes to social media. It's social proof. It's free advertising. So have what I like to call an Insta Trap, a fun place where people can come, take photographs, and have fun, where they can, and they are invited to share it. And there should be all over the place. I shouldn't be able to look in your entertainment center without seeing the hashtag, so how I can tag this location in my posts. And one of the things that Universal Studios has knocked down is great customer service. We talked about it before about making it an individual experience, but it is absolutely key number one for making a core experience to your whole facility. Everybody should be trained. Every employee is there to make that guest experience special. The staff should be trained to deliver outstanding customer service to make every guest feel valued. And we're having a clear, convenient guest pathways and support for anything of their needs. Safety, accessibility, guidance. You want to really think about your customer journey. Walk through the path that they're going to walk and think, is there anything that you would like or that you would need if you were coming to take advantage of your own fun center? And the last major point, the major thing integrated, hopefully, into the experience here at Epic Universe is constant changing and evolution, right? You don't want to let things go stagnant. In fact, this being, I think we're here at Epic Universe, but the original park for Universal Orlando Entertainment Group, of course, was Universal Studios. And there is only one attraction that is still there that was there when they opened that gate in 1990, I think, right? One thing, and that's the E.T. ride. And the rumor is that if they take that out, Steven Spielberg is going to, pull his other properties and his wrath will be known. So E.T. might be here to stay, but that is the only attraction that was there when that park opened. I can't imagine sitting here in Celestial Park and looking at the roller coasters, the Harry Potter land, thinking that won't be there in 15 years. There might be something new and exciting, but you've got to continually evolve. So we talked about 8 points to really consider, and we're going to integrate these and see how we can make our family entertainment centers as epic as Epic Universe.
Russ, how long have you been entertaining families?
I started about 15 years ago.
What kind of things did you do before all of this?
I'm a ventriloquist, I'm a magician, and I'm a balloon artist. And I actually had a kiosk inside of a mall where I sold magic and I did balloons, and everybody in the mall wanted me to open a bounce house. So we did that. And when you open the bounce house, you wind up at IAPA before long, and you start learning all the amazing things that are options for the industry out there.
So you started this empire with bounce houses. How did you transition from bounce houses to mini golf? What are some of the factors that came into that?
The thing I like about the golf versus the bounce house industry, and that was a fun industry too, and if you're good at it, go for it. But in the bounce house, I would have a whole family come in. The kids 12 and under would play. The older kids, the parents, the grandparents, there's no source of income coming from them. So I've got a full house. My staff is working their tail off, and I'm only getting income from a small portion of the family. Whereas with miniature golf, I love miniature golf because it's the only sport, if you can call it a sport, I do. It's the only sport I know where a 5-year-old grandchild and an 85-year-old grandmother can play together and both have an absolute blast. It is whole family fun. kids, parents, grandparents, even great-grandparents. I'll have 4 generations, and we've even had 5 generations in before. And the whole family is having fun.
Russ, now it's time to name names. Do you want to call out some of the great vendors that help you put this place together?
As far as inside the course, goodness, this time we went the whole gamut. We've got lots of, the folks at Creative Works brought a whole lot more foliage than I'm used to, and really that brings it alive. The artist did a spectacular job on the walls here. Of course, the artist in the last place did a spectacular job as well. But also we've ventured into the projection mapping. And wow, that's opened up a whole new world for us. Let's do something unique and creative. And I actually challenged them to create some new concepts that I have. One is a log that inside the log has a 360 loop. We've seen the 360 loops in the industry before, but never integrated into the artwork, but now it is. I've got a big stump in one room here that they put up one root, if you will, into the inside of the stump, and then it of course swirls around and it's going to go out one of 3 holes. So we're trying to, even though we're in a flat course, we're trying to create more unique obstacles that that folks aren't saying, oh, it's all the same after the first 3 or 4 holes.
So you spent all this time building this incredible location, and now you've got to run it. So what do you expect to be your single biggest operational challenge?
I think all of us right now would agree that it's finding help. But even more than that, it's finding quality help that's fantastic with the customer. That's how we keep people coming back in our industry. Well, quite honestly, sometimes you have to pay more.
There have got to be a ton of lessons that you learned by running that first one. What did you apply to the second one?
There's something I've learned through the years. The first one taught me this, obviously, but when you're nice to someone, they appreciate it. But when you're nice to their children, they think you're great. We actually help the kids size their clubs up and pay a little special attention to the kids. The parents are usually pretty good at sizing, but oftentimes they want you to help size up too. So it's the interaction when they're first coming in with the clubs, with the we have the clipboards on the cards. We try to do a high class, but also a very personable relationship with the customer when they're first coming in.
All right, we're blacklight golf and arcade. What are the hot arcade games?
Well, everybody's going to say ticket time. You know, you just go back and forth and continue to play that. Jurassic Park is always a winner. I do have coin pushers at one of my locations, the Angry Bird pushers, and they are enormously popular, of course. We just got this Men in Black, and I'm real anxious to see how that does, because that's going to be a winner all the way through. And of course, crane games are always a winner for us as well. Yeah.
So this is number 2 in the empire. How many do you think you're going to have?
I see this as an industry that is not going away anytime soon, and it's not really affected. Depending on if you put it in the right location, it's not really affected by economy as much. Goodness, you know, the sky's the limit. My goal, I learned a long time ago, don't shoot for the mountaintop. Shoot for the stars. Because if you happen to not quite hit it, you'll at least hit the moon, which is way above the mountain. I can see an easy 20 of these in premier locations over the next 10 to 15 years. So that'd be a good goal, yeah.
Our first question, is TikTok worth it for my smaller local FEC? Yes. The simple answer is yes. TikTok is a crazy thing. We approached it very methodically. It was a huge safety risk. At any moment, it could have been banned. It's technically illegal. There's a law that says it should go away, but it probably isn't, and who knows? And right now, out of the list of things we can control, that's not one of them. But what is happening is that because of their specific algorithm, small businesses, including family entertainment centers like ours, yours, are getting great advantage of it. And the key to it is make it as topical and personal as possible. Don't do advertisements or commercials. If you're going to do TikTok, do it. It's free. Just be careful, but put yourself, your staff, and people. Show you having fun. That's it. It's a place to show off your place, not to advertise a special or a sale. So the real answer, should you be using it for your small local FEC? Yeah, forget to what to post. Fun makes your thumbs up.
Our next question is, how much do I really have to post on Facebook? Well, that's a great question. We get this question a lot. And the answer is somewhat ambiguous. Basically, as a rule of thumb, you want to post every day. If you can't, post every other day. Because really, the answer is somewhere between every day and every other day, right? The pattern isn't as important as the content. If you don't have great content, you don't want to post. But you do want to create a relationship with your viewers. That's what we're doing. They're friends. We tell friends about things that we're doing, things that are happening, and we like to talk to friends on a daily basis or almost every day. You don't want to be that friend that you hear of every once in a while, not if you want to be on top of mind. That's it. People say, well, Chris, am I going to post too frequently? Am I going to bother people? You should be so lucky. The greatest business in the world has people calling up saying you post too much, right? Because that means that people are actually seeing the stuff. We still want the posts that we do to get into the feeds of the people we want to see them. So if somebody thinks you're posting too much, that means that they're an A number one client, guest, and or they are so tuned to what you want to give. The algorithm thinks that they should serve up your stuff. So don't ever worry about that. Don't ever worry about that. You should be so lucky. So again, if you want to post, the best frequency is every day or nearly every day. And you can take that to the bank. Coming up on Baking Fun, what to post when it's dead. There's a lot of downtime that we have in our fun centers. Just at the beginning when it opens, there's some lulls, especially on the weekdays, and we're paying our staff a lot of money. Depending on what state you are in, a lot of money. So you want to get the best out of them. So if they're just standing around and it's dead, get them to do some posting. And what kind of posting? Well, that's where the creativity comes in. Actually, videos about staff are really popular. People talking about why they love working at your center, what their favorite part about working at their center is. These are also great times to do recruitment videos. The best person to recruit is not necessarily the owner and manager, but other team members. The other things to post when it's dead are things about the attractions, tips and tricks, secrets, behind the scenes. People love this stuff. Keep in mind, not everything that you post has to be or even should be a commercial, a promotion, a special. You're trying to build a relationship with your clients, and people build relationships with people even when they're dead. Part of great social media is, of course, the media. And getting the media is how you put it together. It's not just what you point the camera at, it's how you point the camera at. And now we're gonna do a little segment I like to call Focusing on Fun, where I'm gonna show you some of my tips and tricks on how to shoot unbelievable social media content. Now, as most of you know, I've been behind a professional camera my entire adult life and even before that. Whether it be a film camera, a studio camera, or this camera right here. And I'm gonna give you my top tip to putting together an unbeatable shot composition. This is gonna change the way you take photos for your business and for personal, period. Okay, this is a concept called the rule of thirds. And what's that? Well, it's part of the golden ratio. And what does that mean? Nah, don't worry about it. It just means that there is a certain way mathematically that we visually like to see the world. And it breaks up into thirds. 1, 2, 3. Across, 1, 2, 3, top to bottom. And if you start to see the world like that, you're gonna compose even better shots. Now, on your phone, you're gonna see that there is a grid that you can turn on, and these are the 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 down, and we're going to use these as a guide. So let me give you an example. We happen to be here in the wizarding world of Harry Potter, an epic universe in France, if you will. And I'm going to show you, so maybe we want to turn around and shoot this building right here. Okay, so here I am, I'm just a regular guy picking up my photo, and I'm going to take a picture. Boom. Sometimes it's hard to take a bad picture for me, but I'm going to pretend I did. All right, so as we look at this, this is a extremely uninteresting photograph, right? But all I'm going to do to make it just a little bit better is I'm going to take the frame, I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to bring the bottom down with the bottom line, and even if you don't have the grids, you can visually see this. It's 1/3 top, 1/3 bottom, and now I'm going to bring the side of the building in to that. Tilt it, and I end up with, boom, a shot like that. And if we look at these shots, look at that shot. It is much more interesting than this, right? And all it is remembering to keep things to thirds, right? Not straight on, you got one side, from, and the other side. Just move your subject to one side, maybe give them a little headroom, or take it away from them. In fact, so if you follow these things, break your world up into 1, 2, 3s, and shoot the corners, that's the rule of thirds, and that's gonna make your social media really pop. I guarantee it. Hey fun makers, a question I get all the time: should I shoot vertically or horizontally? Or horizontally or vertically, or horizontally or vertically? Well, it's easy. If you're shooting a short, a reel, or a story, you want to be vertical. If you're shooting for YouTube, you want to be horizontal. In fact, I can't believe I'm saying this. Most of my career has always been like this, but if you're shooting and you don't know, your best bet is to shoot vertically. That's the way you're going to be seen on more different things. So if you're in doubt, shoot vertically. Horizontally if you're making a movie and telling a story. Vertically if you're doing some social fun.
Another episode of Making Fun has come to an end, and we had a great time shooting it on location here at Universal Studios. Epic universe. This place is amazing. But we got a chance to learn from the big boys how a theming and immersive entertainment works. We got a chance to talk with Russ and take a look inside the business model of the blacklight mini golf. And we got a chance to learn a little bit about how to frame for our social media. And we answered a few of your questions. So a beautifully successful episode, but we need your help. For the next episode, we need your questions and your ideas and your location suggestions so we can come out and shoot at the places that you want to see. If not, we'll shoot at the places I want to see. And as you can see, they're pretty fun. Until the next time, we'll see you making fun.